Hi there, Stampers. It's Lisa with Queen Bee Creations. Welcome to today's live. This is my last live before I go on vacation, so it's going to be a really quick one today. I hope you still like it, though. It's kind of a card, kind of a display piece. We're doing this little Tealight box, and you can't see it really well here. You can see it better in the pictures I posted. But when all the lights are off or it's in kind of a dark corner, the Tealight lights up a glow behind our horse and sleigh here, and it can be displayed on a mantle or anywhere out, or it will fold flat and fit an envelope, probably one we'd have to make ourselves, but you could send it to someone technically, and then you could put something on the back. I think I would be more likely to set it out and maybe even put some ribbon around the top and have a bow up here and have it as a display piece, but that's up to you. This is our second card using the horse and sleigh bundle. We did the envelope flap on Monday. And this is what we're doing today. And then while I'm gone, I'm going on a Hawaiian cruise. I will be showcasing the Waves of Inspiration, which I've used before. It's out of our annual catalog. And I'm going to pair that with Whale Watching, which is a set that's in the new September to December mini. So those two pair together wonderfully. So if you already have Waves of Inspiration, you probably want the Whale Watching because they go together fabulous. And I will have 4 of those for the 2 weeks I'm gone. They will go off as if I'm live, but I won't technically be live. So I don't want you guys to miss out on all the fun just because I'm out having fun. So all my lives will go off as normal. I've got a few blog posts going up. My newsletters are pre-scheduled. All that's ready to go. And I'm also offering 20% off all of my written tutorials while I'm gone too. So if you are at all interested in my printed tutorials, customers get them for free, but other people can purchase them on my website during that window between September 22nd, which is tomorrow, and October 4th, which is Wednesday of the following week. They're all going to be 20% off. We will fly into Vancouver tomorrow night, and then we will be there Saturday. We're going to do something on the water where we're going to do this tour that's going to look at waterfalls and things on a boat. And then we will board the ship on Sunday, and then we will cruise for 5 days because that's how long it takes to get over there. And then we won't be there for Maui. Our trip we're going to do island hopping for 5 days. Maui was supposed to be one of them, but our cruise ends on the 4th, and then we fly home that night. But we arrive in Salt Lake at 6:30 in the morning or something ridiculous. And we'll miss Maui. So I'm a little bummed about that. But I've never been to Canada or Hawaii, so I'm good with both. So anyway, let's get going on our card or our display piece so we can get crafting. So like I said, here is our little Tealight thing. It's got the Tealight inside. It looks gorgeous in the dark. I kind of go overboard trying to light up my desk so you guys can see what I'm doing. And it kind of takes away some of the beauty of the little display box, but you kind of get the idea. And you're going to be surprised at how easy this thing is to put together. We're going to start out with 2 pieces of Night of Navy. I basically took the 8.5 by 11 and I cut it in half. Could have scored it at 4 1/4 and 6 1/4. And then I cut it in half at the 5 1/2. So this is 5 1/2 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, 6 1/4. This one here I had to chop off because this is where it's going to hook on, and I don't want it up into our window. So we just needed this 1/2 inch. So this piece is the 5 1/2 by 6 3/4 because it's scored at 4 1/4 and 6 1/4, and then 6 3/4. So that's going to be our 1/2 inch overlap. Apparently I have adhesive on my nail. I thought I'd ruined it. I painted my nails yesterday for the trip, and I've got glue all over them. Go figure, right? Yes, this would be gorgeous with the nativity. Okay, so how this is going to go together is basically we're going to adhere this and we're going to adhere this. And so that's going to give us our box. Really simple, right? And then this piece I want to be my window because I want the window where my short piece is. Instead of back here, I want it here. So I'm going to put down my designer series paper, and this is out of Shining Brightly, I believe is the name of this designer series pack. It's some gold foil on Native Navy. This is 4 by 5 1/4. You could give it the smaller border and do 4 7/8 by 5 3/8. That might work well too. Depends on whether or not you like those 1/8 inches. Now that you have your ruler, right, it should be easier. Has everybody downloaded that free ruler that I have out there on the website at queenbeecreations.net/store? And there's a section called card making aids. And I've put the color coach and the trimmer adapter for the 1/8 of an inch. I've got the topper for the the sponge dauber box. You know, the little box that holds 40 sponge daubers, little plastic one. I made a new insert for that with all the new colors. That's up there as a free download. I'm going to be putting it up as a laminated piece in case anybody doesn't have a laminator or color ink. So that will be available. I just didn't want to put it up before I left because I didn't want to worry about not being able to ship while I'm not here. So when I get back, that will go up. To cut my window, I'm using the countryside corners. Now, if you have the old stitched rectangles, those would work great. You can also use your trimmer and then just kind of measure in and cut a square out of the middle of it. But if you have basic shapes, ovals, I don't know what shape you'd call these things, rectangles, anything that's just going to give you a nice opening in the middle that will show into the inside, that would be helpful. So I'm going to have to use my 6-inch for this one. So I'm not going to bring that into the window because that's going to be hard to see. But I'm just going to kind of center that in the middle and then die cut that out. I'm using the old magnetic plate, which is not available anymore. It was not meeting Stampin' Up quality, and so they've discontinued it. I'm hoping they're still working on it in the background somewhere, and it will come back at a later date, but for right now, that piece is not available. Kind of a bummer. Okay, then I have my piece for the inside, which is just a piece of vellum, and this is 3 3/4 by 5. And then pretty much you can just put a little adhesive in each of the corners. We just need to kind of hold it in place. So if you wanted to use seal or glue dots or, you know, just something to hold this in place. There we go. And you can see how it shows through. So I'm making sure it's hidden. And then we want to hook that to this piece. So that's why I was saying we're going to do this. So I want adhesive strip on here, and I'm going to go ahead and use tear and tape so it's nice and strong. Good morning, Sharon. I see coming from Australia. Are you familiar with Alyssa Tilsner? She's my buddy over there. She and I do our customer appreciation PDFs together. So if you're looking for a demo in Australia, she is fabulous. She runs a coloring group on Facebook called Blends and Beyond, and it is fabulous. She's teaching us some great tricks with the Stampin' Blends. Okay, for this, I want it to make sure that it folds flat, because whether we're going to be mailing it or putting it away for storage, I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this by putting tear and tape on our flap and then folding it over and pushing down. I'm making sure that I am flush on the sides. So, Alyssa, are you part of her Blends and Beyond Facebook group? Have you seen what she's doing? She even replaced the nibs on them. It was fabulous. So I'm going to be finding the links for those nibs and doing a video for the United States people to do that. Because, yeah, I've had a couple of them go fuzzy. And if we can replace them, that's fabulous, right? Okay. When you enter in hashtag prize patrol, that gets you entered into the drawing where you could possibly win today's project. Be aware that the 2 weeks I'm gone, we're not doing prize patrol because I won't have the ability to run the wheel in the background. So I'm going to want to stamp on white with our horse and sleigh. So this piece of cardstock needs to be, well, it's about 2 1/4 by about 5 1/4. Mine's a little longer, but that's okay. I'm going to have some excess. When heat embossing, we have this little embossing like toolkit kind of thing. You use the embossing buddy that's going to remove any static or oils from your hands from the piece of paper. Then we're going to stamp in Versamark, which is kind of a sticky ink that will allow you to put the powder on it and have the powder stick. You can also use Versamark just as a watermarking idea. You can stamp this on colored cardstock and then just heat set it without any powder, and it's going to give you a tone-on-tone kind of look. So it can be used as a watermark, which makes a really good background on a lot of cards. Okay, so you can't really see. I can when the light hits it just right. But I can see where the horse is on there. Then I'm going to pour the powder over the top of it very generously, because whatever doesn't stick we'll just put back into the container. It's like I missed the tops up here. And then I'm gently kind of just giving it a tap and knocking off any excess. And then we're going to heat set it. And what that'll do is melt the powder. The little tray has a funnel here where I can funnel this all back into the container. If tapping didn't work, they have this adorable little brush that works to funnel this back all in, and it also works to knock off any little pieces that you didn't want on your project. If the tapping didn't do it, you can use the little brush. Alrighty. that looks all good and melted because it's all shiny now. It went from a matte to a shiny. And then we're ready to die cut it. So there is a coordinating die in here. I figured by doing it in heat embossing in gold, then there was not a need to color it. You can if you want to. It would be really pretty, but it's not necessary because some people don't like to color. Some people do. So this allows you to go either way. I don't want anybody to feel excluded. Depends on what you have time for or patience. Oops. Done with that one. So I'm just going to line this up. I am looking for the little skinny line that's back here. I want to make sure that that can be seen through the die back here. And then I'm kind of keeping an eye on his ears. And if I can line up his ears and that back piece, I think I'm pretty good. You might want to use washi tape or something, Post-it note, something to hold it in place if you don't have the magnetic base. Oh, and I also have adhesive sheet on the back of this. I just thought that'd make it easier. You may also choose to die cut an additional one in Night of Navy, just because when it lights up, having this matted with the Night of Navy behind it would make it so that it was more solid where it's going to light up behind. It can glow through just the white, which isn't bad. I'm just saying it would give it a little more dramatic look if you had just the basic behind it. So you would just use liquid glue and put the two together. This would also, you could use it as an offset where you could give it kind of a drop shadow. That would be really dramatic and pretty. And it will make it stiffer so that you could pop it up on dimensionals if you wanted. For the trees in the back here, that die is in this bundle as well. Because they are so teeny tiny, you want to be very careful using adhesive on the back. Maybe use, ooh, why did it do that? Maybe use a sponge dauber or something to put the adhesive on the back of that, because they are, so you can see there's kind of some goopy stuff behind it. It's not bad. I notice it. Nobody else will. But I don't like the look of that, just how it's smeared behind there using our standard Tombow liquid glue. So this time I'm using adhesive sheet. Also within this set are the two snow drifts. And then this piece right here is designed to go on the sleigh. There we go. If you wanted to, say die cut it in red and then put that in white. And then you could use this for the bottom and give it gold or silver tracks. And then this cuts out the bunny, and these are the two trees and our snow drifts. And have you noticed that all Stampin' Up! Dies have the item number on the back of at least one of the dies? So if you find a loose die, I always suggest looking for the number on the back, because then you can go to the Stampin' Up! Website or Google and you can put that item number in and it will tell you what set it belongs to. So here's our 3 trees. Hopefully this one's going to peel off. Yeah, looks like we're good. It didn't go all the way through the adhesive sheet, but I don't need it to. I just need to go through the cardstock. But now it's sticky and I can place that wherever I want it and not have to worry about glue oozing out from behind. Can't tell you how fabulous I think that feature is. How did we go so long without having the adhesive sheets? That's what I want to know. And these little intricate dies, they're just fabulous. Okay, now it could do with 2. You know, that little artist tip I keep hearing about tells me that it should have 3. So I have a 3rd tree here, but I wouldn't want to put it the same height. I think I would want to adjust it a little to either be higher or lower than the other ones, because not all trees are traditionally all the same height. Yeah, you know which one was really funny with the dies and identifying them, what they go to, was the fishing set, the Gone Fishing. There were dies in there. It took me the longest time to figure out what they were. So finally, when I did, for the tutorial that I made, I took a picture of the die set. I numbered each one of them, and then I gave them names underneath. So anytime I referenced them in the tutorial, you knew which die I was talking about, because I tried to use them all so that you would know what they are used for. Because I don't fish, and so I wasn't sure what a lot of those dies were. Okay, now I probably should have done adhesive sheet on the back if I wanted to lay it flat, this one to here. But I didn't, so why don't we mount it on dimensionals? Okay, I'm using quite a bit just because I'm thinking as a display piece, it might get some more, activity than most cards will. So I want it to not have issues. Oh, I need our snowdrifts. I forgot those. Here they are. Eek. Don't stick to things yet. Like I said, these are sticky as well. They have the adhesive sheet. Now, if you didn't want to make this a display piece and you wanted to make it a card to mail, you can see how this could easily be adapted, where it could be an easel card and have this front without having really the depth. You would just have this piece pop up. You could even turn it this way if you weren't using the sleigh. But I think I have somewhere on my YouTube channel how to do an easel card with a Tealight in it. And then those mail really well. You just have to tell them that it fits a Tealight, so they know when they get it on the other side. Okay. There is our finished little display. I think I'm going to use some ribbon. Now, either way, I can run the ribbon through here, pull it up on top and make a bow, or I can cheat and use my bow maker tool. Come on. Let's see, I think I want it a little wider. Okay, I wrapped it around 3 times. I'm going to bring this up and over, and then I'm going to tie a knot. And then when I'm pulling the knot, I'm making sure that my gold is on top. If it's not, you would twist it, but I want the gold on that side. I'm going to pull it taut, and then we can... My printer's going off. I don't know why. And we would just give these little things a little tug, pull them out. See how nicely that finishes that off? And then you would either use glue dots or tear and tape, something kind of strong to hold the ribbon in place. Now, I'm not too worried about it not being fully across on the inside, because I don't think too many people are going to look at the inside. I think they're going to be mostly focused on the outside. Now, this ribbon right now is currently not available. It will be soon. It's supposed to come in, I believe, next week or the following week. And I understand some people are a little frustrated about some things that are currently unavailable or in low inventory. If there's something you are particularly looking for and you don't want to have to be frustrated and checking it every day, please let me know and I will look for you, because I am on that website every day checking those things, and I can let you know when things come back into stock if you're looking for them. Yeah, I definitely think it needs the bow, don't you think? The bow is very pretty. So that is today's project. Has everyone put in hashtag prize patrol? That's what gets you into the drawing. And I have this wheel going in the background. It's collecting everybody's name. Here is the... Oh. Come on. Wait a minute. Okay. I wanted to show you what the sleigh looks like colored in. And then this is what I'm doing on Monday. So this will be Monday's live. It's already been filmed and it's ready and out there. So this is just the whale watching. And then Thursday's card will have the waves of inspiration put into it. So yes, it's exciting when things come back early. I appreciate that Stampin' Up! Kind of errs on the side. So that's why I keep an eye on it, because I want to know when those things pop back up, because maybe they will before it goes back out again. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead and draw. I think I've stalled long enough. Everybody should have had that in there. And here we go. There we go. Jeanne is today's winner. Congratulations, Jeanne. Yeah, I am hoping that we do see some whales. I hear orcas are up in that area of Vancouver. I don't know for sure, never been there, but I hear they are. That's why I picked that stamp set. So congratulations, Jeanne. You know the drill. You go over to my my website at queenbeecreations.net, and up in the address bar, you're going to, at the end, put /prize patrol. And that is where you will fill in the Google form telling me your name and address and where to mail it to, all that good stuff. There's also a Stampin' Storage sale going on right now. So if you are interested in Stampin' Storage, they're having a 15% off deal right now. Hit me up if you want more information on that. And then, as I said, starting tomorrow in my store, I will be discounting all my PDF tutorials by 20% for the week and a half I'm on the cruise. So thank you, everyone. Congratulations to Jeanne, and I will see you all virtually next week. And I will be back live. That's like second week of October. See you all then. Thanks. Bye.